My name is Claire and I am one of the master tutors at the Technique Center for this semester, and I wanted to make another video kind of talking about specifically what to do with your notes using online notes versus handwritten notes. And a lot of the strategies are the same. There's just some unique features that online notes you can use that you can't really use with handwritten notes. But a lot of things I'll talk about are the same, going through and underlining, highlighting, color coding your notes, making diagrams and charts, but there's also some key tips for staying organized. One of the key things I want to emphasize with using online notes versus handwritten notes is to make sure you back up your notes to your laptop. Using Google Docs and Google Drive is a great way to do it. Also using OneNote and Office is a great way to make sure they're stored and saved to the cloud or a drive. But if you're just using like Word, make sure that you're saving it. You can have that auto-save feature and make sure you're saving it to your hard drive and backing that up often so that you don't lose those notes. Say for example, these are a set of notes you took for a business law class earlier today over chapter 41, and you're going through at the end of the day and trying to review them and study them. So a good thing to do, because information like this doesn't really stand out as much. So you're studying, you can go through and make color code them. So on this page, I took those notes from the previous page and kind of made terms or titles kind of stand out, like personal property, tangible property, intangible property. That's just one way. You can also, instead of, if you don't want to color code it like this, if you want to go through and highlight, kind of like what you would do if you hand wrote these notes. So I went through and highlighted those terms or titles that I wanted to make stand out. Another thing you can do to make notes stand out when you're reading through them and reviewing them is underlining. A lot of Word documents have underlining features, so if you want to, underline, the part of definition of tangible property, just go up there, underline, and now it stands out. I have my tangible property highlighted, but I have the definition underlined. So another unique feature you can do when studying and reviewing your notes with online notes that you can't really do with handwritten notes is to be able to find terms. And so what you can do is use Control Find or Command Find, depending on your laptop brand, to be able to find terms. So say, for example, I want to find tangible property in this document, and I would just type it in and hit enter, and look, I can figure out where tangible property is, so that if I'm studying and reviewing and I just want to make sure I have this definition down and know this term, I know where to find it, and I can find it easier than if I just had to read through all of my notes. So another thing you can do when you're reading through your notes and you just have big blocks of text and just really no organization or structure in it, and you just kind of a lot of information all in one place, is you can kind of go through and kind of organize it. So I know that these first half of bullet points are all talking about the Calvin-Benson cycle. So what I can do, if I wanted, I can color code it. Makes that stand out. And I know this other half of bullet points is talking about the nitrogen cycle. And so I can color code that. And so now the information stands out, and I can see the two differences between the cycles. Another thing I can do is put a title. So there, I know that these bullet points are part of the Calvin-Benson cycle, and now I want to change that text back to black, and then I'll title this the nitrogen cycle. And now I can easily read and easily see which set of bullet points go with which cycle, so that when I do start studying for the test, I can easily have my notes more organized, easier to understand, easier to review. Another thing you can do when you're studying and reviewing your online notes to make them easier to read and understand when you have chunks of text like this that kind of talk about two different things but aren't as easy to read, is you can insert diagrams or charts. And it becomes really easy. You just go to Insert on Google Docs, and you can insert chart, you can insert a drawing. So for this, I already made a Venn diagram where I will transfer all my information, and I'll just click it. I'll double click it, and then it'll take me there, and I can insert text box and type all my information I need. So another helpful tip when you're doing your online notes is to keep yourself organized. And a good way to keep yourself organized, instead of having all your documents and all your notes kind of in one big place, and it's very hard to differentiate between all your classes, is to create folders for your classes and then be able to move those notes into those folders. So I created a microbiome folder, and I'm going to move my microbiome documents into that folder. I'm going to go move to, and I'm going to choose location, and I'm going to choose scroll down to microbiome, and then I'm going to hit move. And so now they've all moved, and I'm going to go to that folder, and I'm going to click it. And now all of my microbiome notes are in one place, and so I can easily find them and keep them organized for when I'm studying. Thank you so much for watching these videos, and I really hope these tips and tricks about how to study and review your online and handwritten notes help you for studying for tests and exams for your classes. I also just want to emphasize making sure to review your notes within that 24 to 48 hour period, because that's really going to help you retain the material and help you kind of go through, organize your notes, fill in those missing information, kind of ask questions, get those questions or clarifications cleared up. And so thank you so much.